What's up, everyone? Thank you for stopping by to visit the channel for this upcoming game preview. If you want to stay updated in the world of college football, if you haven't done so already, please click that subscribe button, click the notification bell, and select all so you will not miss out on another video. Also, like the video, it does help the channel grow, and give me your score prediction in the comment section below, even if you agree or disagree with my score prediction. Auburn heads up north to State College, Pennsylvania to take on Penn State. It is ESPN's Game of the Week. It is where College Game Day is going to be. It is where the late kick is going to be, and Lord willing, I'll be in front of the television set basking in the glow of watching the whiteout. Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. Central, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC. Both teams come into the game undefeated at 2-0, with Penn State taking care of business against Ball State and Auburn wiping the floor with Alabama State. Both teams have played each other a grand total of 2 times, with the series tied at 1 apiece. The last time these two teams faced each other was in 2003 in the Capital One Bowl, where Ronnie Brown scored on the 17-yard touchdown that proved to be the game winner by the score of 13-9. Now, you don't want to hear about the past. You only care about this game on Saturday, so let's dive into the tail of the tape. If this is your first time visiting the channel, the tail of the tape is based on 2 metrics. One of them is SP Plus by Bill Connolly from ESPN, and F Plus by Brian Fremeau, who does his work on Football Outsiders. F Plus is a combination of the Fremeau Efficiency Index, or FEI for short, and SP Plus. You put the two together and you get F Plus, which determines overall quality. Based on the tail of the tape, we have pushes all over the place, except for Penn State's defense versus Auburn's offense. The people over in Vegas opened the line with Penn State as a 7-point favorite. Bill Connolly's SP Plus metric gives the Nittany Lions a 60% chance of winning the game. This was a better showing than the previous game against Wisconsin, where Penn State was held to an overall success rate of 28% and an anemic 12% rushing success rate. I know they were playing Ball State, but there is a lot to be encouraged about when you look at the advanced box score. Shameless plug here, if you want to see more of these advanced box scores, I run them every Saturday after a game on my Twitter account. As you can see in this game, Penn State was efficient at everything, but that is what you were supposed to do against an overmatched opponent. It looked like Mike Yurcich, the Penn State offensive coordinator, wanted to work with quarterback Sean Clifford on reading his progressions as opposed to taking off when he feels a play isn't there. The result was a 58% passing success rate at 7.9 yards per attempt. The running game with Noah Cain and Kevon Lee had holes to run through, as the offensive line allowed 9% of their carries to be stopped at or behind the line of scrimmage, giving way to a 56% rushing success rate. The Penn State defense did manage to give up some explosive plays, keyword some, but that was with the backups in and the game was already put to bed. One of the things that took me by surprise was Penn State's closing speed when it came to them running sideline to sideline. I also noticed their defensive line was disruptive at the point of attack, stopping Ball State at or behind the line of scrimmage on 20% of their running plays. That would mark the second week in a row where Penn State stopped at least 20% of their opponent's carries at or behind the line of scrimmage. There's not a lot I can take away from this box score, other than Auburn started off really slow, as you can tell from their first and second quarter success rate, where they were at 31 and 38% respectively. But it was a third quarter where everything clicked for Auburn, as they put up an 88% offensive success rate in the third quarter, which gave them an ungodly delta of 52%. Now, I know it was against an FCS school, but that third quarter was as good as it gets, and anytime you put up anything above 70%, you pretty much couldn't do anything wrong offensively. Now, you can say the same for the Tiger defense. The defense smothered Alabama State, holding them to a success rate of 28%, and Alabama State had to throw all the running plays out of their playbook, as they were held to a 19% rushing success rate with 41% of their runs stopped at or behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, you have to try really hard to get a 0% success rate in a quarter, which is what Alabama State ended up with in the fourth. So this year I'm using my rating system that is based on the principles of ELO, but this is structured by the point differential of the average college football team. If you're not familiar with ELO, it runs like this. After every game, the winning team will take points from the losing squad. The difference between the ratings of the winner and loser determines the total number of points gained or lost. If the high-rated team wins, then they'll receive a fraction of the ratings points from the lower-rated team. However, the bigger the upset, the bigger the ratings boost. And if the favorite plays poorly against a team they are supposed to dominate, they will also lose points off their overall rating. So these ratings are different from the tail of the tape, where I use SP+. In this game, the model has Penn State winning by the score of 28-25 with a 58% win probability. For the year, the model is decent. It has a record of 68-23, which comes out to 75% of picking the winner straight up, and it is 1 game out of 500 against the spread with a record of 45-46. Last week, it had its best week so far. It went 35-6 straight up and 21-20 against the spread. So only using the model against FBS competition, so any games against FCS schools, they're not being used. And just because I had a decent week last week, I don't expect to have a great week this week just because I talked about it. So let's move on. So now it's time for the prediction. So far, what we know is Auburn played the equivalent of an FCS school that is masquerading as an FBS school in Akron and a lower tier FCS school in Alabama State. However, they beat the brakes off both of them, hanging more than half 100 against them with a new coaching staff in place. We have no idea if this is a sign of things to come or if they're going to fall flat on the road. For Penn State, can Sean Clifford put together another consistent performance against a quality opponent? In the opener against Wisconsin, which is a quality defense, by the way, he threw for 7.5 yards per attempt, which is not great, but it's somewhere in the middle. And he followed up the following week with 7.9 against Ball State. There are times in Sean Clifford's career where he will throw for 9 yards per attempt one game and then follow it up with a stinker like 5 or 6 yards per attempt the next game. Can he stay consistent? The athletic ability is there. He has the weapons with Jahan Dotson and Noah Cain around him. So can this Penn State defense also shut down Tank Bixby, who is a quality running back in the SEC? Penn State's defense is number 1 in the Big Ten and 29th in the country in stopping runs at or behind the line of scrimmage at 22%. But here's the tipping point for me. Bo Nix on the road in true road games, and I'm not talking about neutral site, but campus road games, he is 4-5 as a starter, and in those 9 games, he threw for over 7 yards per pass attempt twice. Once against Arkansas in 2019 and last year against Ole Miss. And those two defenses were absolutely putrid. He's thrown 13 touchdowns and 12 interceptions away from Jordan Hare. For Auburn to get this done, Nix needs to be at or above 7.5 yards per attempt. And unfortunately, he's been consistent at being inconsistent when he plays on the road. This is where we're going to find out if Bo Nix can go to that next level. In the end, give me Penn State with the whiteout that gives the players that extra juice in a close one since they're playing at home to the score of 27-23. And with that being said, that is going to be it for this game preview. Let me know what your thoughts are in the game in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give the video a like, and if you love college football as much as I do, hit that subscribe button if you want to stay updated with the latest previews and the occasional highlights. And as always, thank you for watching and thank you for visiting the channel.